What's up, everybody? It's time for the seasonal retrospect. So we're gonna be looking at the spring 2020 lineup. It definitely was very strange since the emergence of the coronavirus, like halting production of a lot of different things that we were watching, and even delaying things that were supposed to come out for this season as well, and even in the future. It's bad out there, guys. Please be safe. Wear a mask, wash your hands, keep your distance when you can. It's really important. Because if not, then everybody's just gonna end up dying. We don't like that. But yeah, back to the anime that stuck around, that tried to keep us entertained despite the craziness that this world is going through. So let's just go through the list I got here. So we got Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2 that came out, and it was more really great fun. And they really tried to add a little bit to the usual status quo by adding just slightly different situations for them to get into. Like, there's still the will they, won't they, finally just confess, but they also got to distract it with kind of like a B plot when it came to the election towards the first bit of the season, where they introduced a new character who eventually, sorry if you don't like spoilers, it's coming, who eventually becomes part of the school. What is it called? Why am I blanking on what it's called? But basically the school board, with the kids. You know what I'm talking about. But the ones who the students that run everything and try to, do things for the fellow students and such. But anyway, the whole run for presidency was really cool, and then just seeing the many misunderstandings that happen with adding a new member to the student council. There you go. So that was really cool to watch. A lot of really funny moments. Seeing, why can't I remember his name? The treasurer and his Ishigami. Seeing his little side journey was also really fun to watch, and even seeing his relationship with the new member. It was nice. I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, on to the next show, Gleipnir. Gleipnir was another show that ended up going through, and I was really impressed from the beginning, that I mentioned in my the last retrospect. And yeah, it definitely kept up that bit of edge, and the story was still very intriguing, and the way it continued, like, completely boggled my mind, dealing with memories and like all the different powers that people have, and dealing with choices of which kind of path you take in life, and how you should try to avoid it, if you can, because once you get to go to the dark side, it's just like, if you go too far into the acts that you go into, it's kind of hard to go back to being just a regular human being. So it was really cool, and I'm really looking forward to how it's going to continue, being that it almost kind of ended in a spot where it's like, oh, everything's almost over, but it's ending before it's over. So I wonder how they can continue it in the second season, because I don't know if they can. I don't know what story they have left to tell that could be in another 12 episodes, but who knows? Maybe it'll be some type of movie or something, or I don't know. We'll see. But it was really fun, and seeing like the way certain powers evolved a bit too. The art was really cool, and yeah, I dug it. It was fun for me. So Fruits Basket started up like the dub started up kind of like towards the tail end of the spring season. So it's still very much currently airing on Funimation, that is. And Fruits Basket is Fruits Basket. If you don't know about it, then just know it's all about feels and relationships and growth as humans, and dealing with past trauma and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm loving every second of it. Plunderer, the second half of the Plunderer series came and went, and the world they built was very interesting. Like in the second season, they went back to the past, and then like halfway through, they finally made it back to the future, and just seeing what they're going to do to try and change the effects of past events with the waste war. It was very interesting to watch, and I'm still very curious to see where it's going to go. The story itself is still a little weird and wonky, but it's entertaining enough to keep following along, at least in my opinion. Black Clover finally kind of started back up its dub, and I heard that the sub actually stopped for a bit too, but it's getting ready to start up production again. So maybe this will allow the dub to catch back up. Who knows? But they're finally getting ready to figure out what they can do about the devil curse that Asta has, and start traveling to the other kingdoms. So they're just finally getting ready to do that. I know in the sub they have already they're past that. They're already going on to the other kingdoms, and I hear it gets kind of crazy. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, still really enjoying the dub, and yeah, that's all I got, since it's just barely kind of restarted itself. Pari Ranman, I was enjoying the first 3-4 episodes that it had, but unfortunately it stopped, so we're definitely going to be looking forward to when that starts up again. Shiro Neko Project Zero Chronicle was a hot mess, but I loved I won't say I loved watching it, but I kept watching it. It was just I guess visually entertaining enough for me to keep watching all the episodes, but all the entire way through, I was like, this show is trash. It's not very good. The story was is very basic, and yet they still tried to do some things that were kind of to be different, but it wasn't, and yeah, it just wasn't. To me, the story just wasn't very well executed. The art was all right. The music, it was just I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say it was just passable enough to air, because to me, I don't know if that story was necessarily worth telling. But I mean, it kept me going back to it, albeit that I slept through episodes and had to rewatch, just because I was forcing myself to watch it. Listeners, man, kind of man disappointed me. It started off really strong, like the whole concept was really cool and interesting, and how you got the equipment, and you got the goodness gracious, why can't I think of their names? The players, and just like how that whole thing works, and they're on this journey. They're looking for Jimmy, and see if they can find this guy who's supposed to be able to help everything get back to normal, and then the twist ends up happening, and then it just ends up falling apart, and I'm like, it's starting to get uninteresting, and that makes me sad, because it started off really good to me. just like trying to uncover the history behind Mew and how he's really connected to the guy whose name escapes me at the moment, and how he is connected also to Jimmy, but it just kind of fell flat. It just started going into weird areas and then also tropes. It was just a whole heap of mess towards like the last third of the show. But the different music references were kind of cool to see how they tried to incorporate that. But listeners just kind of fell flat towards the end. The Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited that is supposed to be coming back again. The first 2 episodes were really cool. I was really interested to see what's going to happen, so I guess we'll find out here in this upcoming season if it actually comes back. Art. This show was so wholesome, and I loved it, and it was cool to see this kind of historical piece. Just like how women were treated back in the Renaissance era, and just seeing her trying to fight stereotypes and discrimination, and just seeing how classism and all that can be fought again through art and relationships. So it was really sweet to watch, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And if they do decide to tell more of our story, I would be fine with that. But I'm also cool with the way it ended. It was a very solid shoujo show. But yeah. What else? Oh, Sachibato, President, it's time for battle. This show was another pretty like kind of trash show, but it was very good. Like it's very entertaining. Like Shironeko was like bad, but like almost unwatchable. Sachibato was bad but very watchable. Like it's just kind of like the popcorn kind of anime where it's just like there's nothing really important happening. This story is just kind of funny and nonsense, but whatever, let's keep watching. It is just a very entertaining show, and just seeing the different dungeons they'd go to and all the work that they put in to achieve things and like get money to do things, almost like 50% of the time not being helpful. That was pretty fun to watch and see the relationships kind of grow between all the company members and the people that they employ along the way. But yeah, it was just fun. But Wave Listen to Me was a great show that was fun. So the other one was not that great of a show, but fun. This was a great show and fun. Like seeing the whole like a lens, like a look behind the radio world, and then also just the craziness of Minare, the lead female in this show. Like she's just truly a character, and the way she treats people and the way she goes about finally like taking the radio gig seriously was really fun. And the stories they end up telling on the station are just like so outlandish and hilarious, and it's just like, what in the world could this girl get into that wouldn't surprise me? Like she's just lives a very strange life. Like there are some very, very weird things and weird stories that they told that it was just too fun to stop watching. And yeah, it was fun. I love that show. It might be like seriously my favorite show of the season. And yes, that means it beats Kaguya. So yeah, Wave Listen to Me was just so much fun for me to watch. And I think that kind of covers everything. Because Bungo and the Alchemist, like, I watched like maybe 4 episodes, and I was like, you know what, I can't do this show anymore. And I just said, well, all right, well, bye-bye. Not watching you anymore. It just kind of got boring. It was like the concept was kind of interesting, so I was hoping they were going to do something great with that concept, with the authors kind of coming to life, and they have to like save the books and the authors, and then it was kind of an interesting concept, but the execution just got kind of boring to me. So I was just like, well, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. But yeah, so it seems for the summer, Sword Art Online is coming back, so that is something that unfortunately I'll watch, because in the Alicization arc wasn't entirely bad, and the War of the Underworld part wasn't entirely bad either. So unfortunately, I'm going to be one of those sad souls who continue to watch it. Black Clover, of course, still going to watch that. Fire Force is back in production, and I'm really looking forward to what stories they're gonna tell, and see how in the world they end up dealing with the ones clad in white. I can't remember their name at the moment, but yeah, wondering what future conflicts they'll end up having with the big bads in that season. Of course, I already mentioned, still watching Furuba. Gonna be watching The Millionaire Detective when that picks back up again. Just found out that No Guns Life was coming back, so I didn't even know that was happening. But I saw a new episode came out tonight, so I was like, oh, I didn't even know. So I'm gonna be watching that, because the first season was really cool. The world they built was interesting. It seems Apari Ranman is going to hopefully come back again, so I'd love to continue watching that. Started watching the Superheroes, or H. Eros, and let me tell you, that first episode was just dang weird, but I like my ecchi shows, and hopefully they can keep up the entertainment value, otherwise I'll drop it. It is what it is. Lappy's Relights just started, and I was like, this might be okay, so we'll keep watching, see if we need to drop it or not. And yeah, that's it. So still got to finish Beastars. Started watching that with Miko. And so hopefully we'll be able to get through that. Vinland Saga is back on my to watch list, so I'm going to try and finally watch that. What else? I also want to end up watching Brand New Animal now that it is out of Netflix jail. What else is there? I have like so many shows on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, pretty much all of them. I have so many shows on there that are on my list to watch that are like older shows that I need to see. So maybe I'll give some type of review over them when I finally do watch them. But we'll see. Those probably won't be. Those will probably be their own separate episodes instead of being lumped into the retrospect. But yeah, it's getting harder and harder for me to actually keep up with anime, despite how many shows I was able to talk to you guys about. It's definitely getting a lot harder for me to keep up with everything, and there's less shows out. But it's just, I'm filling my time doing a lot more other reviews, reactions, and there's just always so much music coming out. So yeah, and then plus work is just now always, it's smack dab in the middle of the day, so that it just makes my sleeping schedule really weird. I know having it in the middle of the day makes it sound like it shouldn't be weird, but trust me, it makes it weird for me. Uh, but yeah, yeah, that's it. Hopefully, you guys can tell me what you guys thought of the past season, of the shows you continue to watch. Tell me what you're looking forward to in this summer season. And until next time, much love, peace. Peace.